back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Louise and I talk about how to engage with fashion in more conscious ways. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about greenwashing. And as you probably know, greenwashing is when a company or an organization claims that they do more for the environment than they actually do. So greenwashing is a bit deceptive. It's a strategy used to appeal to more people and basically portray the brand or the company as more environmentally friendly than they actually are. But the definition of greenwashing is also putting more effort into the marketing activity itself rather than the actual efforts to reduce the environmental impact of the brand. So what made me think about this topic was actually a recent case with Gina Tricot, which is a Swedish clothing brand. And if you live in the Nordics, you're probably familiar with this clothing brand. They cater mainly to teenagers or young adults and is one of the largest high street clothing brands. So if you visit the Gina Tricot website, you will of course be able to buy their clothes, but on the very top menu you will also see a page called Sustainability. And if you click it, you are redirected to a page which essentially holds all of the initiatives and pledges that they have in place for their sustainability program. Fun fact, they actually do sell that laundry detergent, which I mentioned in a previous video called Bio Restore. But on this page, you can read a little bit more about their product materials and their collaborations. For example, they are a part of the Swedish textile initiative for climate action called Stika. And here they also talk about their goals and their commitments. So, to quote, "Within the framework of our Stika membership, we have set targets to minimize our climate impact in all areas and reduce by 50% until 2030, with our base year updated to 2021. So on the Gina Tricot sustainability page, they also talk about a partnership with WWF in order to ensure that they work responsibly with water in their production. So to cite them, we assess the water risks in our supply chain, identify challenges and opportunities, and work in a transparent way to implement solutions. In terms of logistics, they claim to use sea freight. They also deliver their products in 100% recycled poly bags. So Gina Tricot also lists their sustainability pledges that they have for 2028, and they also upload their sustainability reports dating back to 2014, and they are all available to download on this page of their website. Their most recent report is 56 pages long, and it includes KPIs for people, product, and planet. So even if this all sounds good and promising, Gina Tricot was recently criticized by Swedish media for their campaign called Gina Tricot Forest. To give you a little bit of background, Gina Tricot had a collaboration, or they have a collaboration, with a Danish forestry company called EcoTree. The idea behind the campaign was that if you add €1 to your purchase, then you will help Gina Tricot and EcoTree to place beehives and plant trees, which contributes to biodiversity. They also used one of the most famous influencers in Sweden to promote their campaign. But when SVT did a deep dive into the result of the campaign, it turned out that the donations from the campaign had resulted in only 2 beehives. They also visited the so-called forest, and it was more like a little corner of a larger piece of land which is owned by EcoForest. And out of the 17,600 trees, Gina Tricot had 503 trees. When they interviewed the head of business and nature development at EcoTree, he was asked if he considered the campaign to be greenwashing, and he simply responded no. So this begs the question, is Gina Tricot greenwashing? So in my opinion, I don't think that Gina Tricot as a brand are greenwashing their entire brand. Sure, putting people, planet, product in their Instagram bio is a bit bold as a fast fashion brand. To be frank, they are still producing clothes and selling them to a world that does not need more clothes. But I still think that they are doing more and present themselves in a way which feels more honest and transparent than, say, Zara. With this said, I would definitely say that this campaign is greenwashing. I think the very definition of greenwashing, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video, makes that quite clear. The definition of greenwashing is also putting more effort into the marketing rather than any efforts to reduce environmental impact. So in this case, they used a lot of money to pay off this high profile influencer to be the face of the campaign. Way more money than they ended up donating towards the beehives and the trees. There was a bold promise about a grand forest, when in reality the amount of trees planted was way less than what you would consider to be a forest. The influencer in question also has a lot of young people as her followers, and I think of course they are influenced by her and they will take her word for it. So I think that the responsibility of course lies with the brand, but the influencer also has a responsibility to review and follow up the campaign of which she is the face of. So influencers certainly have the power to make demands for the campaigns that they promote, and especially given the amounts of money involved. Like, after all, she is putting her personal brand behind it, so wouldn't you be more careful about what you are trying to sell and promote to all of these young people following you? And I think that that's maybe like one of the struggles that I personally have with influencers, because I know that everyone in this life needs to make money, they need to put food on the table, but I still think that you need to keep your integrity and you need to stay true to what you believe in. So Gina Tricot have commented on the case and they have answered questions and they have been interviewed by the media. I would say that this is of course better than if they were just to stay quiet and sort of ignore the whole spectacle. They also shared a press release on their website to clarify that they should not have used the term forest as a part of their campaign, and they claim that it was all done with good intention and that they understand that it was a miscommunication. I will say, like, of course that's better than doing nothing at all, but I'm not sure that I truly believe that they maybe wouldn't realize that they are blowing it out of proportions. Like, surely they must be smarter than that. And in this particular case, I also asked myself, like, do the consumers at Gina Tricot really care that much about sustainability? Like, wouldn't they still buy clothes from Gina Tricot if they weren't promised a forest? I think that they would. I don't think that the target audience for Gina Tricot are people who have a passion for sustainability. Like, sure, they might view it as like a bonus rather than like the more important aspect of their purchase decision. Like, I'm not sure that that would be the deal breaker for them, that Gina Tricot would or would not plant a tree to go with her purchase. Side note, I have bought clothes from Gina Tricot, and before this whole story broke, which is part of why I wanted to share this story with you, because I wanted to deep dive into what efforts are Gina Tricot actually making. Is it greenwashing, or is it a campaign gone wrong, or what are they actually doing in terms of sustainability? What could Gina Tricot have done differently? Well, in my opinion, I think that it would have been a lot better to just replace the huge promise of a forest by simply saying that each donation would help contribute to biodiversity. If you wanted to learn more about their biodiversity efforts, then you could visit their website and learn more about their partnership with EcoTree. Instead of blowing it up to be this huge thing with this influencer promising her followers a forest that frankly doesn't exist. Generally, I think that when brands try to blow up a simple effort into this huge thing, that's when it all goes south. So be a little bit more shy about your efforts until you can actually prove that you're making a difference or that it is working out the way you intended it to work out. So what do you think? Like, do you think that Gina Tricot as a brand are greenwashing? Have you heard of Gina Tricot? Maybe you heard about this case, maybe you have a different angle than I have, or if you have any other like similar cases that you would like me to talk about, I'm very open to do that. I also want to finish this video by saying that I don't mean to discredit any brands that are actually trying to make a difference and to work on their sustainability programs. I just think that it's important to highlight news like these. For me, it makes me take a step back and be a little bit more wary about what brands promise you. And I would also like to encourage you to look into the brands that you are buying from and try to go to their website to see is it easy to find their sustainability page? What does it say on the sustainability page? What sort of information do they have there? Is it hard numbers or is it more like fluffy facts? How transparent are they? What can you learn about their production? And do they share reports, etc., etc. So there's a lot that you can look at. I would love to do more reviews like this if you found it interesting. I feel like it would also be interesting to compare different sustainability programs to each other and maybe turn that into a series. So I will link all of the articles and the website mentioned in this video down below in the description box so that you can read them yourself. As always, if you did enjoy this video, please feel free to share it with a friend or give it a thumbs up. That would make me so happy. Give me more ideas on what to talk about. Leave me a comment down below. You can also visit my website, louisewears.com, or connect with me on Instagram at louisewears. That's it for this week. I hope that you have the most amazing week ahead, and I will see you again next Sunday. Bye!